Yes, good morning students. Welcome back to biology class. So in last class we discussed about kingdom Monera. In this class we are going to discuss about kingdom Protista. The members of this kingdom are commonly called protists. So in this class we are going to discuss about characters of the kingdom Protista and also classification with examples. Okay. So organism belongs to this kingdom is called protists. They are unicellular, means a single celled organism, microscopic organism, and they are aquatic organism. They are aquatic organisms. So they are unicellular, means a single cell organism. Microscopic means it is too small, which can be seen under only the microscope, and they are found in aquatic media. That too found both in fresh water and marine water, in the both habitat. Okay. Then they are eukaryotic organism. They are eukaryotic organism. That means the cell having a true nucleus. That means the nucleus is covered by a nuclear membrane. When compared to prokaryotes, in the kingdom Monera, the cell having a nucleus, but nucleus is not covered by a nuclear membrane. So such type of nucleus is called a primitive nucleus or incipient nucleus or nucleid. Suppose the eukaryotic means this is a cell, this cytoplasm, this having a nuclear membrane. This is a nucleus that is covered by a definite nuclear membrane. And they have all cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi complex, then endoplasmic reticulum. And one more important thing is they have 80s type of ribosomes. Very important point, because in prokaryotes they are having 70s type of ribosome. Okay, in eukaryotes means they are having a 80s type of ribosome and all other cell organelles. Okay, then the protists, some of the organism have cell wall, some do not have cell wall. So they may or may not have cell wall. That is important character. They are eukaryotes, unicellular, microscopic, aquatic. Then one important character is some have cell wall, some do not have cell wall. Then they are motile, some are non-motile. That means they have locomotor structures like pseudopodia, as in amoeba. Then cilia, as in paramecium, a small hair-like structure that helps in locomotion. And flagella, that also locomotion structure, a long whip-like structure that helps in locomotion. At the same time, some organism belongs to kingdom Protista or non-motile. Then mode of nutrition bandre. What type of nutrition that's shown by this kingdom Protista or the protists? Some are photosynthetic. That means autotrophic. They prepare their own food. Some are parasitic. Some are parasitic means they do not prepare their own food. It depends on other organism. And some are saprophytic. Some are saprophytic. That means that depends on dead and decaying matter. So that different types of nutrition exhibited by the organism belongs to kingdom Protista. Okay. Then the mode of reproduction bandre. They show both sexual and asexual method. Sexual and asexual a method of reproduction. Sexual method ide, asexual method ide. So these are the important characters of kingdom Protista. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? So they are unicellular, microscopic, aquatic organism found both in fresh water and marine water. Then they have some locomotive structures like pseudopodia, some having cilia and also flagella. They may or may not have cell wall. They are eukaryotic organism. That means they have true nucleus, definite nucleus, advanced nucleus, and all cell organelles. And ribosome is the 80th type of ribosome. And they show different types of nutrition like photosynthetic nutrition, parasitic nutrition, and also saprophytic nutrition, reproduced by both sexual and asexual method. Examples for this kingdom kodadadre amoeba, paramecium, euglena, trypanosoma, stamenites, diatoms. There are so many examples. Okay, so after knowing these characters of the kingdom Protista, so next one is classification of kingdom Protista. So very important for the point of examination, classification. Even the characters also very important for 5 marks. Write the characteristics of kingdom Monera, like ಅದೇ ಥರ characteristics of kingdom Protista. So characters are important in this chapter. Okay. So classification of Protista. Classification of kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista is classified into 5 classes. 5 classes. Which are those? Number 1, that is chrysophytes. Chrysophytes. Second one is dinoflagellates. Third one is euglenites. Fourth one is slime molds. And fifth one is protozoans. This is very important classification. 3 marks ge write the classification of kingdom Protista with the example. And in example bardilla, I will give the example. So first you must thorough with this classification, that is chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenites, slime molds, protozoans. So these are the 5 classes under the kingdom Protista. Example, any one example, familiar example ಒಂದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕಂತ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. So here the best example ಕೊಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ chrysophytes ಗೆ, that is diatoms. There is example for chrysophytes. Dinoflagellates ಗೆ, so best example ಕೊಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ goniolax. Goniolax. Then euglena, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೇಮ್ ಇದೆ, euglenites, euglena. Examples, euglena. Slime molds ಗೆ stamenites. Stamenites. Then protozoans ಗೆ best example, well known example, that is amoeba. So you remember one example for each classification ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು example ಬರೀಬೇಕು, 3 marks ಗೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So after knowing this classification of kingdom Protista, so we are going to study the characters of chrysophytes, characters of dinoflagellates like euglenites, slime molds and protozoans. Other characters study ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So no doubt they are belongs to kingdom Protista ಅಂದ ಮೇಲೆ almost characters are same ಇರುತ್ತೆ, slight difference in their characteristics. Okay, so we can study one by one. Chrysophytes. First one is chrysophytes. So what are the characters of chrysophytes? Then example mention ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. So the first class under kingdom Protista is chrysophytes. So chrysophytes That means the organism belongs to chrysophytes are no doubt they are unicellular because the kingdom Protista andmele unicellular adu. Unicellular, eukaryotic, microscopic. So chrysophytes are also unicellular. No doubt unicellular means a single cell organism. Then microscopic. No doubt microscopic. Then eukaryotic means they are having a true nucleus and all other cell organelles. Aquatic organism that is present both in fresh water and marine water. Fresh water and marine water ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಏನು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಆಲ್ಗೆ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಮನ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಆಲ್ಗೆ. At the same time, they have a cell wall. Cell wall is made up of silicon. Cell wall is made up of silicon and have the two pieces, the overlapping like a soap box. They are called valves. ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ valves ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Cell wall is overlapping with one another like this. This is a nucleus. This is a diatom. Like a soap box ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಚ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್. ಇನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಪಿಥಿಕಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೈಪಾಥಿಕಾ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ diatoms and desmids. They includes diatoms and desmids. Best example ಕೊಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ then they are the chief producer in the ocean. They are producers. Produce in the sense they are photosynthetic. So because they are having the pigments, they are photosynthetic in nature. The nutrition mandre photosynthetic, so they are producers. Photosynthetic. They are photosynthetic. That means they are autotrophic. So these forms of planktons in the ocean. So unicellular, microscopic, free-floating organism. They are commonly called planktons. They are the main producer in the ocean. Artha aita? Then they reproduce by both sexual and asexual methods. Asexual and sexual method. So one more important thing is these diatoms forms a diatomaceous earth. Very important. That forms a diatomaceous earth or diatomite. What is this diatomite? Yenidu diatomaceous earth antandre? So these are free diatoms and desmids are free floating planktons in the ocean or in aquatic ecosystem, that may be our freshwater and marine water. So in the ocean, the cell wall of diatoms are deposited at the bottom of the ocean for several billion years to form a heap. One rashi form agat. That is called what? A diatomaceous earth ankaritare or diatomite. This diatomaceous earth is used for various purpose. Okay, so before going to uses of diatomaceous earth, once again recall these characters of chrysophytes. They are unicellular, microscopic, aquatic organism found both in fresh water and marine water. They are photosynthetic. Then their cell wall is made up of silicon, have two valves overlapping with each other like a soap box. Then they are called chief producers in the ocean. Then they reproduce by both sexual and asexual method. And one more important thing is they form diatomaceous earth. That means the cell wall of diatoms is deposited in the bottom of the ocean to form a heap. One rashi form agutte. That is called a diatomaceous earth or diatoms. So this diatomaceous earth is very useful ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಯೂಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಟಮೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಅರ್ತ್? ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಟಮೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ವೆರಿ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಟಮೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೂತ್ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಯೂಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ diatomaceous earth or the diatomite. They are used to prepare toothpaste and also tooth powder and also soaps. ಸೋಪ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಟೂತ್ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಟೂತ್ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Then it is also used as or used for polishing the metals. Polishing the metals. Metals na polish ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. And also this diatomaceous earth or diatomite are used in different industries for as used as a filters. That is in a brewing industry. Brewing industry, oil refinery, sugar industry, and also filtering the syrups. Filter the syrups. ಸಿರಪ್ಸ್ನ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಆಯಿಲ್ ರಿಫೈನರಿಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಡಯಾಟಮೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಅರ್ಥನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ used in packaging as a packaging material in corrosive chemicals. Corrosive chemicals na pack ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, explosives na pack ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. It is also used as a insulator in refrigerator, in furnace ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So these are the uses of diatomaceous earth or diatoms. ಇದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ dinoflagellates. After knowing the characters of chrysophytes, then examples and especially the uses of diatomaceous earth. So next one is dinoflagellates, that also belongs to kingdom Protista. Dinoflagellates. So there are dinoflagellates also belongs to Protista, means characters are same, a little difference in their characters. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ meaning ಇದೆ, di means 2, flagellates they having 2 flagella. Okay, so what are the characters? No doubt they are unicellular, microscopic, aquatic, eukaryotic. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ characters. Especially they are found in marine water. So what are the main characters? No doubt they are unicellular, ಅಂದರೆ single cell organism. Then microscopic, so too small. Then eukaryotic, that means they are having a true nucleus covered by nuclear membrane. They have all cell organelles and also they have say 80S ribosome. Then they are aquatic. So mostly found in marine water. Okay na? Then they appear yellow because of presence of pigment, yellow, or green color ಇದೆ, green pigment, and brown and blue and also red, depending upon the pigmentation. That is yellow pigment ಇದೆ, green pigment ಇದೆ, brown ಇದೆ, blue ಇದೆ, red ಇದೆ. Cell wall is made up of, cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cellulose. Nutrition, no doubt they are photosynthetic. Photosynthetic. Because they have different pigments. Yellow pigment ಇದೆ, green ಇದೆ, brown ಇದೆ, blue ಇದೆ, red ಇದೆ. Especially this red dinoflagellates ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, they undergo rapid multiplication. Especially red dinoflagellates. Red dinoflagellates undergo rapid multiplication. Fast ಆಗಿ multiply ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The number increase so that makes the sea appear reddish. Sea looks like reddish color ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so that is called red tides ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ? Red tides. Because that red dinoflagellates undergo rapid multiplication that makes the sea appear a reddish color. So that they are called red tides. At the same time, this red dinoflagellates release a toxin, a toxic substance release ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Toxin release ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. That a toxic substance that leads to death of some aquatic organism, especially fish. Okay na? Example, the best example ಕೊಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ Goniolax. Example ಯಾವುದು? Goniolax. Goniolax, the best example. Nactiluca, another example, Nactiluca. Nactiluca. These are common examples of dinoflagellates. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? Okay, next one is euglenids. So euglenids also belongs to Protista. No doubt they are unicellular, microscopic, aquatic. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. A little bit some character much change ಇದೆ. So euglenids. So what are the characters of euglenids? No doubt they are unicellular, microscopic organism. Then a eukaryotic organism, microscopic unicellular eukaryotic organism. Then they are found in stagnant fresh water. Found in stagnant water, and also found in a damp soil. Damp soil ಅಂದ್ರೆ wet soil. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? Then very important character ಅಪ್ಪ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ they do not have cell wall. Cell wall is absent. Cell wall is absent, but they have, very important point ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ they have a proteinaceous sheath that helps in flexibility to the animal. That is that proteinaceous sheath is called pellicle. Very important. They have a proteinaceous sheath ಇರುತ್ತೆ that gives flexibility to the organism. Okay na? Then they have two flagella. ಎರಡು flagella ಇರುತ್ತೆ as a locomotive structure. They have two flagella. One is short, another one is short and one is long. ಎರಡು flagella ಇರುತ್ತೆ, but both the flagella are joined. That looks like a single flagella. Best example ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋದು euglena is a best example. Suppose this is an euglena. This is a nucleus. This is a one flagella. ಒಂದು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲಾಂಗ್ flagella ಇದೆ. It's called what flagella? That helps in locomotion. Okay na? Then these euglenids, they are photosynthetic and also they are heterotrophic. ಹೆಂಗಂತಂದರೆ in the presence of sunlight they are autotrophs because they having a chloroplast ಇರ್ತದೆ, they have chloroplast, they prepare their own food, so that they are photosynthetic. In the presence of light ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. in the presence of light, suppose light is absent, light illಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ they behave like a heterotroph, they behave like heterotrophic nutrition. That means euglenids shows both autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. They are commonly called mixotrophic ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಏನಂತಾರೆ? Mixotrophic nutrition. That means they show both autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. In the presence of sunlight they are autotrophic. One more thing is the chlorophyll present in the euglenids is similar to higher plants. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಯೂಗ್ಲಿನೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಟು ಹೈಯರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಆಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್ ದೇ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಫ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಶೋ ಬೋತ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ದೇ ಶೋ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ದ ಬೈನರಿ ಫಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಂಜುಗೇಷನು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಶೋ ಬೋತ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ದಿಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯೂಗ್ಲಿನೈಡ್ಸ್. ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಗ್ಲಿನಾ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ slime molds. Next class, slime molds, that also belongs to Protista. They have same characters, but one important character ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ they are saprophytic protist. See, chrysophytes autotrophic, dinoflagellates autotrophic, euglenids both autotrophic and heterotrophic ಇದೆ. Then slime molds ಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ they are saprophytic protists. That means that they depend on dead and decaying matter. Okay, so then what is the character? No doubt they are unicellular, microscopic, eukaryotic ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಇದೆ. They are main ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು saprophytic protist. They depends on dead and decaying matter for food. When condition is favorable, they grow several feet to form a plasmodium, a structure called plasmodium ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. when condition is suitable, condition is favorable, they can grow rapidly to form a structure called plasmodium. When condition is favorable, condition is suitable. At the same time, when condition is not suitable, when condition is unfavorable, this plasmodium forms a fruiting body. That produce spores. They produce spores. Then the fruiting body liberates the spores ನ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. the spores having a well thick cell wall ಇರುತ್ತೆ, that helps to survive for many years. These spore further, when condition suitable, develop into new individual ಆಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ when condition is favorable. ಓಕೆನಾ? then they reproduce both sexual and asexual method. sexual ಇದೆ, asexual method ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇನ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ saprophytic protista. ನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್, ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿಕ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್. ಒಂದು ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಫೈಟಿಕ್ protista. Condition favorable ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ they grow rapidly to form a plasmodium. When condition is unfavorable, the plasmodium develops the fruiting body. In the fruiting body, spores are produced and spores are liberated. They spread by air. Air ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸೂಟಬಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗ್ರೋ. ದಿಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಮ್ ಮೌಲ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡೋದಾದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮೋನೆಟಿಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮೋನೆಟಿಸ್ ನಿಟಿಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೈಸಾರಮ್. Stemonitis and Physarum are the best examples for slime molds. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ protozoans. So protozoans, they are also no doubt unicellular, microscopic, protozoans. They also belongs to kingdom Protista. No doubt they are also unicellular. Common character adu Protista adu. Microscopic, adu common character. Then eukaryotic organism. They are also found both in fresh water and marine water. They are also, that means they are aquatic. That include both fresh water and marine water. Fresh water allu ide, marine water allu ide. Common character aitu. Then majority of protozoans are parasitic. Parasitic nutrition. ನೋಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೈಸೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡೈನೋಫ್ಲಾಜಿಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಯೂಗ್ಲಿನೈಟ್ಸ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ದೆನ್ ಸ್ಲೈಮೋಡ್ಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಸ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಫೈಟಿಕ್. ದೆನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಜೋವನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟಿಕ್ ಇನ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ the main nutrition parasitic andmele that depends on other organism. At the same time, here they have different types of locomotor structures. Like ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೂಡಾಪೋಡಿಯಾ ಇದೆ, ದೆನ್ ಸಿಲಿಯಾ ಇದೆ, ಫ್ಲಾಜೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಇದೆ. At the same time, some do not having a locomotor structure. One more thing is they have, especially in freshwater protozoans ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, freshwater farm ಅಲ್ಲಿ, freshwater farms ಅಲ್ಲಿ they have contractile vacuole ಅಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಏನು contractile vacuole is present in freshwater protozoans that mainly helps in osmoregulation. That maintains water content in the body. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಜೋವನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಜೋವನ್ಸ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ based on locomotor structure, because some having pseudopodia, some having cilia, some having a flagella, some do not having locomotor structure. So once again this protozoa is classified into different classes. Protista unicellular, microscopic, then eukaryotic, aquatic, idella common. So majority parasitic. So based on locomotor structure, once again the protozoans are classified. Classification of protozoa very important. 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ವಿತ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಸೋವನ್ಸ್. ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಸೋವನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಅಮೀಬಾಯ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಸೋವನ್ಸ್. ಅಮೀಬಾಯ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಸೋವನ್ಸ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. ಅಮೀಬಾಯ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಸೋವನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೀಬಾ and also entamoeba. Okay na. Second one is flagellated protozoa. Flagellated protozoa because they having a flagella as a locomotive structure. In amoeboid protozoa, pseudopodia is the locomotive structure. So example that is trypanosoma. Then third one is ciliated protozoa with having a cilia as a locomotive structure, that is a paramecium. Paramecium is the example for ciliated protozoa. Last one is sporozoans. Amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans. Last one is sporozoans without any locomotive structure. Here no locomotive structure. They are non-motile. Majority of these are pathogens. ಇದು pathogens ಇರುತ್ತೆ. For example, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೋಡಿಯಂ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೋಡಿಯಂ. Plasmodium, you know that Plasmodium is a malarial parasite that causes malaria. A disease, malaria cause ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Malarian pathogen, parasitic pathogen. At the same time, this is trypanosoma. This also causes a disease, a sleeping sickness. Trypanosoma. ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ನ ಕಾಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಂಡಮೀಬಾ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಸೀಸ್, ಅಮೀಬಿಕ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ಅಮೀಬಿಯಾಸಿಸ್. or amoebic dysentery. So these are pathogenic protozoa. These are very important. Protozoans, I give an example for pathogenic protozoans ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅದು ನೇಮ್ ದ pathogen that cause malaria, that is a Plasmodium. Name the pathogen that cause sleeping sickness, that is a trypanosoma. Like amoebiasis, that's also called amoebic dysentery, that is entamoeba. ಅದು scientific name entamoeba histolytica ಅಂತಿದೆ. Okay, this is about what classification of protozoa. So dear students, ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ kingdom protista complete ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So in next class we are going to discuss next kingdom, that is kingdom Mycota. Okay, bye.